think I might have pissed off my nems. DIY is not always easy, is it?
I have definitely learned a lot through this process so far.
And I still can't find that nem. Boy, that nem. I think it just up and I don't know what it did. That was the weirdest thing. It moved all over the place. Now I have another nem on the move. I don't know if you remember, I had a nem right in here. It had its foot buried in that crevasse right there. It's under the ledge. I think I might have pissed off my nems. I think my pH climbed too fast. I switched over to pickling lime instead of fish store kalkwasser, and my pH kind of jumped up pretty high. Now I've got another burnt tip over there. I don't know if I'm gonna have to snap that off. I feel like I'm gonna have to snap that off. There's something going on. I don't know if there's some kind of warfare. That dude, that little alien dude, has some long tentacles that it puts out. It could have very well in the middle of the night smacked that little finger there. These are so interesting, this little forest of SPS here. Oh, I know why I had the tube going up high. I had the tube going up high so that I could sandwich it. Because I have this, my plexiglass top, sandwiching it at whatever location I want so that it doesn't move. So I would have to figure out a way to mount that sucker so that it doesn't move without having to sandwich it on top. Boy, DIY is not always easy, is it? I had this in the tank and it was working pretty well. Put it on night 7 and night 8. The eggs didn't hatch during those nights. Kind of luckily, I think, because I don't think this was working 100%. The side that I actually glued using the super glue puts out this vapor when it's inside a chamber and it's drying, and I think it clogged the holes, the 50 micron holes in this fiber. And I don't think water was actually passing through it. We can see because it's pretty clean. And I had it in there for 2 nights. This other side is slightly dirtier. I added this on this, the 8th night, I put this on. And I'm pretty sure water was passing through it because it got a little dirtier. The thing is, I don't feel a lot of water was passing through it, because my limitation on this, and I might as well pull it apart now. Oops. You think you're gonna do something for a video and it doesn't work out. Wow. So hot glue gun works really well. I can't get that off. So the plan was, see, I have these holes in this tube. You can see I have the holes right there, and I put some extra holes in it so that the water would go in and come out the hole, hopefully come out the hole and fill the chamber up with little fry. But I didn't feel, because I looked down the tube and I saw that a lot of the bubbles were kind of just settling and popping up at the top. They weren't all going through those holes. So in other words, I didn't feel like 100% of the water was coming up into this chamber. So what I did was I made another one. This time I only used hot glue, and I used PVC because I thought I would just leave that alone. I used PVC, and this is a 3/4 inch pipe. I could have probably used something bigger, like a 1 inch or maybe 1.25 inch PVC pipe, maybe is what I should have used. Just thinking about it in retrospect. So I had this above the rock. The little clown, the mama and papa clownfish could still get in there because of the angle that it was at. Whoops, can you see that? because of the angle that it was at. And so the eggs would hopefully go up that chamber, not the eggs, the fry, once they hatch, would go up that chamber and then come out. This time, 100% of that PVC pipe was below the water level. I think I had the water level right up here when I had it in there. And so 100% of the water was flowing into this chamber. And because of the vacuum on there, the fry could not swim back down it. In the first iteration of this, I used limestone that I put down there because I thought, oh, the limestone would be pretty good. It puts out a lot of bubbles. It'll create that suction, and I felt that the vacuum was stronger, and it probably was. But I didn't think that was necessary. Now that I'm down to a 3/4 inch pipe, I end up using one of these stones. I have a stone that's bigger, but this is like a 3/8 inch stone as far as the width goes. As far as it fitting inside that pipe, it fits pretty nicely. So I had that down in there, and I put it, you can see it right there, I put it just inside like that. And then the other thing that I had on this, I put a valve on this. So I had this part of the container was above water level. The PVC pipe was below water level. And I had it just kind of resting on the rock. And then I had the lid sandwiching this container between the rim of the tank and the lid of the tank, so it wasn't going anywhere, and did a pretty good job. So the night, I think I put on the 9th night is when I put this on, and that's the night the eggs hatched. So they hatched, and I know this worked because, well, here, let's see. So what I did the night that they hatched, I set my alarm for 2 in the morning. And I just went up in there. It was all dark. I did this all in the dark, so that's why I didn't film anything, because you're not going to see anything. And that's why I'm trying to talk through this, because it was all dark, 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 dark. But when I went in there, I don't know, because of the vibration of the pump or whatever, I should have ran it a couple of nights using this one instead of this one to figure out, get the kinks out. So one of the kink that happened was, because I had the valve on this, and my valves are metal, they're heavy, and the vibration plus the bubbles caused it to do this. And so when I got there at 2 in the morning, the stone was up on top, just barely hanging on there. It wasn't even really in the water. And so I had to just assume that this happened after the fry had gone inside, because before I went to bed it was working, and I went to bed probably an hour after lights went out, and I should have probably checked then, but I didn't. I just thought, I didn't know if it would happen right away or if it would take a long time for the eggs to hatch. But as soon as the lights go out, I did black out the tank completely by putting a blanket around it. So that way it would mimic lights really, really going out. Anyway, so what happened? So it was dark. I just pulled that off. I pulled this out, and the water drains down to this level, and it comes out through here. The water really comes out through here nicely. And because it's really dirty compared to this one was in there 2 nights. This one was in there for like a couple hours, and you can see the difference. I know water was passing through here, and I know it collected a bunch of gunk on its way through. So bottom line is this worked. Chamber that you can hover over the eggs, that the daddy can still get in and clean them. The PVC pipe, a small stone. If I would have just clipped it on there, or even made a little cradle for it to rest in there so that it wouldn't vibrate out. Probably, I could have put a hole in the side of this and then maybe used a zip tie, and that would have kept it in place. So that way it just stays in there. I didn't think it was gonna come out, but it did. Anyway, so all I did in the middle of the night was pull this out, and then I just dumped it into the, dumped it this way, into my little reef bowl. I'm gonna go ahead, I've made this little light. I've put a couple of pieces of paper on there to diffuse the single LED that's there, and I'm going to go ahead and just put it on top. There are rotifers in there. I've added those in the darkness so that it wouldn't disturb it too much, and it's been using the ambient light from the room. Hopefully that was enough for the little larval who's still alive in there swimming around. I don't want to, you can't see it, and I don't want to pull the top off. It's kind of hiding next to the heater, so I don't think that's a good sign. I have no way of knowing whether or not it's eating. There are definitely plenty of rotifers in there. I left this out, even though the fry didn't make it. I left it running because I have it set to 77 degrees, and they say rotifers won't grow at that temperature, and I'm pretty sure they're probably right. But I thought, I'm gonna keep adding food in there and let's see what happens. You know, I see some rotifers in there. Let's turn that pump off so we don't get so many bubbles in the picture. Let's see. Can you see them? I'm definitely seeing rotifers. Let's see if I put the flashlight from the side. There we go. Now we see the rotifers much better. In higher temperatures, they're probably not multiplying as quickly at this higher temperature. They're probably taking a lot longer. Oh, whoa. Are y'all seeing what I'm seeing? It did survive. Holy cow. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my word. Look at that. You guys see that? It survived. I am so glad. Oh, I need to turn that light off. Holy buckets. Wow. It survived without light because I turned this light off. I'm gonna get that light back on there. Wow. No, I'm not gonna put the light back on because we have some nice ambient light going. What do I do? Holy buckets. That's pretty cool. I'm excited. I'm excited. It's surviving in a reef bowl. Too cool.
I have definitely learned a lot through this process so far, and hopefully third time's going to be a charm. Well, actually, this should have been the third time, right? First time I saw the eggs, and before I could get anything going, the eggs were hatched and everybody ate them. The second time, I was able to get them to go on a pot, and that we saw the eggs turned white, didn't quite make it. And now this time they ended up going on the live rock, putting the eggs on a live rock, hopefully. And I'm actually getting a tank, a 5-gallon tank, nice and ready, prepared, blacked out. Proper lighting, proper filtration, proper everything that I can think of that I've been seeing other people do on the internet.
I was wondering why that ball kept getting bigger, and then it hit me.
That's awesome.